Now we're rolling. Damage Plan MMA podcast. I'm Jason. As always, the voice of MMA in Utah, Mr. Zack Partridge.
What up, dog?
What up? How is it going for you, Mr. Partridge?
It's good, man.
After your fun weekend,
I'm good.
gotten a little fist fight.
Got a little fist fight.
Yeah, it was a fun fight.
It was a fun fight.
I know you're a little bummed at the outcome, but
Yeah, it's been a wave of emotions. Go ahead.
I was just going to say the wave of emotions. I don't think people realize the work that, and not all, the majority of the fighters that step in the cage, of what you guys go through to get in there. So I think the average person will look at it and be like, oh, he just got in a fight. Why is he so upset? It's like, you sacrifice time with your family. You sacrifice work. You sacrifice everything to train and to get in there and fight. And, obviously you don't know what the outcome is going to be, but if it's not the outcome you want, it stings a little bit. I get it.
Yeah. I keep going. I'm all over the place with it. And I hear some people, I've seen a lot of people and I appreciate all the support from everybody. And I appreciate people reaching out and not understanding how it was a draw. So I'll clarify that a little bit.
Yeah.
So all three judges had me winning rounds 1 and 2, which I felt like I for sure did as well.
Yeah.
2 of the 3 judges gave him a 10-8 round due to him being in a dominant position for 2 out of the 3 minutes of the round.
Yeah.
So so 2 of the judges, one judge felt like that was just a 10-9 round for him. And then that's the one that had me winning 29-28. But 2 of the judges gave him a 10-8 round. That's where they get the score 28-28.
Yeah.
A lot of people that I respect been around the sport for a long time and stuff, then they let me know that, that they didn't think it was a 10-8 round, and that's great. And that's appreciated. But really the only opinions that matter are the 3 sitting around the cage. And I think they're all good judges. And I knew, I walked right over to my corner, and, Cole Faust was in my corner for that fight. And I told him, I said, they're going to give him a 10-8 round for that third round. Like, I know it. And at that point I was just worried that maybe they saw one of the other rounds not going on, because you never know.
Yeah. You never know. Yeah.
I felt like in the moment, I felt like I did enough, but I'm like, I really hope I don't get robbed and take an L here. Because but at the same time, it is what it is. And yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, and no, but everybody's been really cool. So they kind of caught me off guard because it was a draw. I mean, right? Your fears of going into a fight, getting knocked out, like getting caught in a submission, and I mean, I think too. Like, I'm not tapping. Like,
oh yeah.
Like,
I know.
If he put me in an arm triangle in the third round, and if he would have had it, I would have just gone to sleep.
Yeah.
And I as soon as he got in the position, I was like, oh, he kind of, he's in the position. I was like, well, if he adjusts and he gets this, I guess I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
Like that registered in my head. But he didn't, and I defended it. And even at one point, when my mouth got open, I even kind of just said, I'm just like, I ain't tapping to this, like,
yeah,
it wasn't happening. But I would say all I can do is speak from my own perspective. And for a 10-8 round, I knew it was a possibility because of the control.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, I think 10-8 rounds should be reserved for extensive damage and or almost finishing the fight. He was mounted, but at no point do I think Dave was getting ready to stop the fight even. Dave never verbalized to me, and he's a very verbal ref.
Yeah.
And he never verbalized, like, show me something, Zack. You need to move, Zack. You need to do, like, I never stopped moving down.
Yeah.
And I was defending the whole time. I mean, look at my face compared to my last fight.
Yeah.
That I was on the bottom for 5 rounds, but it's like I was on the bottom for, I have just what, just like a little bump here and there. Like for him to be on top for that long and to never even coming close to finishing the fight, that's and I'd say this reversed. If I was down 2 rounds, and I had mounted him and didn't get the finish in the 3rd round, I would not expect a 10-8 round to get a draw. I would have assumed I'd lost 29-28.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest here. Being where I was going into the 3rd round, getting a draw feels like a loss.
Yeah.
Him being where he was down 2 rounds and getting a draw probably feels like a win.
Yeah.
Even though he never even had me in trouble.
I think it was more initially watching it. I knew right away. I'm like, they're going to give him a 10-8 round. And I think it was more of, and maybe we need to have the judges come on to explain it a little better, which I did get a little feedback after the fight. But I feel like at that amateur level, if he would have been doing more damage, they probably would have stopped the fight, is what I'm thinking at an amateur level. Like, I think if he was able to rain down more shots, and he did do his little shot, I think it was more of the control is what I'm like, okay, he's mounted, he's controlling it. That was my thinking in that 3rd round. I'm like, it's probably going to be a 10-8 round.
Okay.
Like, shit.
So I could be devil's advocate though too. Cause then if it's based off control, I had just as much, if not more control in the 1st round and threatened to finish on 2 different chokes.
I think the optics of the mount.
No, I understand. But if you're saying that's why I'm saying damage is undeniable.
It's always, right? You're right.
See damage, right?
Yeah.
But if you're talking about control, and really endangering and threatening, right? It's the difference between a strike and a significant strike. A significant strike is something that could potentially end the fight.
Yeah.
Well, okay. He didn't ever have me in a position that could potentially end the fight.
I think
I had him in multiple positions that could, and so that's why I'm saying like it's hard. And I'm not knocking these judges.
Yeah, no, not.
I'm just having a conversation of what should be the definition of a 10-8 round versus a 10-9 round. Because I mean, I would agree the most control of the rounds was his round in number 3.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about control, I controlled pretty much the entire 1st and 2nd round.
I think maybe that was the wrong wording I used. Control. Maybe it was
more
the
type of the words that they would use as well.
It's the optics of you're on the bottom for pretty much the whole 3rd round. Like, I get what you're saying. I'm just playing devil. I'm just shooting you straight here. I'm not like, I mean, it's, and like I said, I did get a little bit of feedback, and one of the things that I heard was there was a few shots that were landed, which they were blocked, but from my view, they looked like they were landing in the 3rd. So with the shots that were landed and then him being on mount, that was kind of where the feedback that I got that it was the 10-8.
That's okay. I mean, it's okay.
Which I kind of think that's what the feedback that I got, Dutch. I think that's what they were saying. And my wording probably was a little bit different on that, but effective striking, grappling, I think that's what they were giving him in the 3rd round was.
I just want to be clear on this. In no way, shape, or form do I feel like I don't feel like I got screwed. I don't feel like I got hosed. I knew when I was in the bottom, I need to get up. I just didn't quite have enough gas in the tank to get up. And he did a good job basing. The couple times I tried to roll, he based very well and didn't allow it to happen.
Yeah.
And props to him for that. That's not my intention of sharing like my thoughts on it is not to rag on the judging. I think they did a good job. And then again, I could argue though that it was debatable whether it was a 10-8 or a 10-9 round because one of the judges just did call it 10-9.
Yeah, that's true.
His perspective was it wasn't enough for a 10-8.
Yeah.
So again, that's where it gets into it was pretty like, I don't think angles or their seats changed.
Yeah.
It all comes to the interpretation of what a 10-9 round is.
Yeah.
And that's 10-9 versus 10-8 round is. So if that's the case, then let's, it would be a lot easier if all three judges had it as a draw. That for me, that it's almost easier to be like, okay, it's pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
Like they were all on the same page. But the fact that one of them didn't makes me go, huh. So if Dutch would have been, I love you guys, you know that, Dutch. But that's the other thing. I wonder if Dutch was the third judge instead of somebody else. Like maybe he only saw it as a 10-9 round, and then I win a majority draw.
He would have saw it. He would have saw them all 10-8 for the other guy.
Probably.
I think you would have been screwed.
Probably. I probably get, yeah. I mean, it's cool. I think they did their job adequately, and I think that I think they did their job adequately. Like I'm not bashing on them. It's just perspective, and it's just conversation piece. Here's the statement. Kevin came into the cage after and said, let's do a rematch. Tony, of course, wants a rematch. I'm not opposed to a rematch.
Yeah.
Because I just spent 3 rounds in there with somebody that before I was pretty sure I was the better fighter. Now I know I'm the better fighter.
Well,
so if he really wants a rematch, like I'm down to dance. No disrespect.
That's right. He did have a fat neck, Heather. It was that extra 4 pounds.
Real.
It was that extra 4 pounds.
So I was just about to get to that. Though. But make no and ifs or buts about it. He missed weight. He was late to weigh-ins.
Yeah.
Missed weight. I suffered.
On your birthday.
Through my birthday.
You didn't get any cake on your birthday.
I didn't get pumpkin pie on my birthday, and my wife made it up to me. She made me 2 awesome pumpkin pies that are pretty much gone at this point. I mean, I don't care what the weight is, but I don't think he tried very hard to make weight. And no knock on him, but when he got there and I saw him, he did not look depleted to me.
Yeah.
He didn't look like he was suffering. He didn't look like he'd been trying to make the weight and just having a hard time coming off. He didn't even have a sweat going when he got there. He looked very comfortable. Go look at our face-off pictures. Does that look like a guy that was suffering to you? Not to me. So, and no disrespect, it just is what it is. I like him.
Yeah. No, yeah.
He got there late. I was a little pissy, but I shook his hand. Sorry. It was cool in the cage. Touch gloves. Like we were cool after. He was very respectful. His coaches were all very cool. I have nothing bad to say about the guy. I'm talking from a competitive standpoint of competing in an equal playing field.
Yeah.
If and when we fight again, and I think that will happen next year.
Yeah.
2022. I don't know the consequences or what I can actually do, because that's the other thing. If he misses weight, it's not like I can get a purse.
Yeah.
But it's like, I mean, if he would have pushed to miss the weight, would have it affected his cardio the next night?
Could have.
How he felt the next night? I mean, it's little things. I mean, it was a close fight. It was a close enough fight to be a draw. One guy made weight, one guy didn't. I mean, I'm not going to be too hard on him. We're amateurs and we're all still learning, and is what it is. But I mean, I'm going to need some assurances if I'm going to do another fight camp, because I told Kevin and Pat, find me a fight. Is there anybody you want to fight? Not particularly. Find me somebody that can make weight and that will show up. Yeah. He showed up, but he did not make weight. And I think I know it's not meant or intended, but I think there's a little disrespect I take from somebody not making weight like that. It's not like he was a pound off either. I mean, he showed up 5 pounds over.
I know a good nutrition guy for him next time.
We'll send him to the Damage Plan MMA.
Send him to the Damage Plan MMA Fitness and Nutrition.
Yeah.
Hey, at the end of the day, it was a great fight. It was a fun fight.
Yeah, I've watched some stand up. I watched it like 15 times. Everybody's been saying, "Hey, I want to see your stand up." Like, I showed I showed a little bit of the stand up, and it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. I'm not.
I will say I did like. I think it was the second round. he threw a pretty nice leg kick, and it kind of pissed you off, and then you countered right back.
It
was it the end of the first towards the end?
No, it was the first round. He hit me with a body kick.
Yeah, and it was like, all right.
He hit me with a body kick that didn't hurt, and
you fired right back. I was like, okay, now he's awake.
Body kick, and everybody went, ooh.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, I got a body kick for you, and you can hear. I'll show it to you later, but
yeah.
I think mine echoed a little louder. That's all.
It was awesome. No, it was a fun fight though, man.
So yeah, but I mean, all in all, like it is what it is. It sounds like everybody wants to do it again. I want to come out there and finish him in the first round, and put that to bed. And I've only had one rematch before, and I finished that dude in the first round after a 3-round decision, and we fight again. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Let's get it.
So, but no disrespect. I appreciate him coming down, and he was everything else, other than missing weight. Everything else was very respectful.
Yeah,
very cool guy. Somebody that I enjoyed sharing the cage with. Good competitor. Tough, scrappy.
Which we talked about. We both talked about
it. I went in there knowing he knew he was going to be tough and scrappy. And you know it was a contest, and I got to compete.
My wife was like, "Why is Zack wearing a Patrick Mahomes jersey into the cage?"
That's not Patrick Mahomes.
That's what I told her.
That's
I'm like,
that's the home run king, Hank Aaron, Hammer and Hank, because the Braves are in the World Series.
Braves,
and
baby.
I knew they were going to the World Series, so I wore my Braves jersey out.
That's good.
Dodgers can suck it.
I liked it.
So that was good. But it was a good time. We all, man, SteelFist card, the whole card. I missed bits and pieces of it. But what was fight of the night for you?
Fight of the night for me, I'm gonna scroll through and look through all. I actually missed a couple of them too.
And we can't say mine on anything because one, it ended in a draw, and draws are lame, and two, I got you know how they should fix a draw?
Who? Wow.
Like they do on The Ultimate Fighter.
Go another round.
Give
him another round. I like that.
I would have said, they would have said, hey, it's a draw right now. One more round. I would have signed up for that in a heartbeat.
Okay. So let's start here. I'm gonna start here. Two guys that I was super impressed with that lost their last fights that came up here.
Andres Toro
came out freaking on. I don't know what was going on with that guy, but he flipped the switch and he just swarmed Tim. All I know is after Tim tapped, he looks over at the corner of Jeremy Horman. He's like, what the hell did I just walk into? He was like a freaking hurricane. And then Kyle comes out, and Kyle has a war with the Spencer Hansa. That was a great fight too. Great back and forth. Went down to a decision. I initially thought maybe Kyle did enough to do it, but I didn't hate it. It was a great fight. Props for the Beaver Kai guys coming up and showing out.
Me and David Kim had a conversation, and he brought up a good point about Kyle Evans. Is he the best 0-2 amateur ever?
Dude, has there ever been the bigger size discrepancy in in the first two fights he's had? He's had super tall guys.
No, but seriously.
No, he is.
Name a better 0-2 guy right now.
Dude, you can't. Yeah, no, you can't. I would not want to be the guy that fights him next. David's fight with Noah was fun. I think we talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it on air. We thought that was going to be a ground fight, good ground battle, and David, dude, I love that kid. What?
Look at Kent's fight shorts that we got him.
Yeah.
Look how good those turned out.
Yeah.
Everybody, you go to Facebook and follow Kent Moffaleo and go look at his.
Why is the pit shorts right there?
That's where they put him. That's where he wanted it.
I love it though. Dude, Kent looks freaking good.
Yeah. So
Kent looks good.
That's cool. But sorry to disrupt it.
But
so I would have to go for my performance of the night. I'm giving it to Andre Torres because he was like, you ready for his nickname?
Yeah.
Does he have a nickname yet?
I don't know.
The Hurricane.
Dude,
he's the Hurricane.
He was not losing.
No,
he was not losing. He was just blitzed and blitzed and blitzed. I mean, I thought Jeremiah Young was really impressive in the main event.
Oh,
and I once again, we don't like to talk about these things before the fight on air because obviously we don't have any favorites. But I think you and I knew going into this fight, if it stayed standing, I thought Jeremiah was going to win. If it went to the ground, I thought Robbie hands down was going to win it. Is kind of what I was thinking going into that fight. And Jeremiah just, dude, he looked impressive.
He's really big for 125.
He's big.
He's long and rangy, and his kicks are so fluid and comfortable. And what actually really impressed me is he landed that head kick, and then I have to give huge props to Robbie for staying composed and executing his game plan and getting to the ground, getting the fight to the ground. But usually you see when somebody, a fluid striker like Jeremiah, when it gets to the ground, when they get back up, they're usually a little hesitant now, right? Because they don't want to get a kick caught or, giving another opening for a takedown.
Yeah.
And he just got up. Once he got up, he got right back to his game plan.
Very calculated.
And he's got some slick striking. And Robbie just kept with that pressure and his style. That's the thing. His style is it's a very good style to control the pace of a fight with.
Yeah.
And we find out that he had an injury in the lungs, and that probably affects his ability to push that pace for too long, which is too bad. And props for not pulling out of the fight and trying to deal with that. It's just, I would say both of them. That was a really good fight.
Everything that I expected it to be. It was a great fight.
Okay, I have to. So we get through. I throw my little tantrum in the back, and then I had to recompose myself to hurry and come out and corner Tanner.
There was one other guy that was really impressive too. Denny did good.
Holy
crap, dude! Yeah. He was.
So I posted a picture for those that don't know. He was my first opponent back in December of 2019. No, 2018.
Yeah.
December 2018 was my first fight, and he was my opponent, and we fought at 205.
Yep.
And we were both a bunch of chunky monkeys. And now we're fighting on the same card, 3.5 years later almost. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And 3 years later, we're fighting on the same card and at 170 now.
That's awesome.
That was pretty cool. And he killed it. He did a really good job.
I'm just going to say his nutrition was on point because he knows a guy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Call a guy. He knows a guy.
He knows a guy. Yeah. So he was impressive. That was his first win. He was 0-4 going into that. So he finally got his first win.
Was that his first one?
Yeah. He was 0-4.
He deserved it. He deserved it. He did great. So I'll give a shout out to, first of all, that was the best version of Tanner Hinds that we've seen in a long time. No excuses. It was a hard fight. I mean, Cole Harris is he's a big dude, big boy. And with the optics were incredible for that fight. And to make it even better, me and Aldo were in his corner wearing Muscles Don't Win Fight t-shirts.
That's so awesome. That was so awesome.
Yeah. And so we're cornering Tanner for that fight. And on one of those, the first takedowns, Tanner, all of his weight came down on his right shoulder. And we believe he's getting some x-rays and MRIs done this week, but I believe he separated or tore his shoulder in his first round. And, like the gamer that he is, he just kept going at it, not being able to use, the thing that he pretty much knocks everybody out with for the rest of the fight.
Yeah.
And he stuffed some takedowns after that and he did good. But, Cole, I'll give Cole a lot of credit because we could hear Court and Dane cornering him from the other side. And he listened so well and he executed a really good game plan. And they were both just so tough. It was such a good fight, but in true Tanner fashion. So I love Tanner and he knows this, and I did get his permission to say this. So we're in the back and Tanner's trying to talk us into it's okay for him to fight without a cup. I'm like, bro, you have to have a cup on.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'm good. And I was like, no. And then I find out after my fight that he didn't even bring a cup.
Yeah.
But because I know Tanner and I've been in his corner for however many fights now.
Yeah.
And I know Tanner very well. I brought a spare cup. I brought my backup cup for Tanner Hinds. And I give it to him and he goes, I don't have anywhere to put it. He didn't have a jock or anything. And he goes, I got this. And sorry, it's a dirty little secret out. So apparently that when they ask you to do the cup check, if you just
plug your ear, Scott,
just give it a knock right above the belt line there, it's good enough. And he got away with it twice. And Tanner did that entire fight without a cup, like a man. But that he would have been a couple olives short of a martini if he would have got kicked too. So, yeah, that's the Tanner Hinds that we love. But man, he fought so patient and he fought like a champ. And I was so proud of him for getting himself in shape. And people don't need to know, but I mean that he's been through hell the past year or so, and he came back and he got himself in a position to take a fight and got himself in shape. I firmly believe this. That was the first fight that he didn't beat himself.
He was
no
ready.
Disrespect to any of his other opponents that have wins over him, but I think the world of Tanner, and he usually would lose fights if he lost them because he got tired.
Yeah.
Because he didn't train the way he was supposed to. You know, we talk about it. He would say he was training on his own, but he really wasn't, or whatever. Yeah. And this camp, he put in the work and it showed, and he did a really good job. But props to Cole Harris. You guys are a monster.
Dude, I don't know how that guy makes 185. He walked by me because I was up at the couches as right where the walkouts
huge.
were. And I'm looking at that guy's legs. And look, I walk around at like 190, 195. And he's freaking ginormous. His freaking quads were like twice the size of that guy. He's a monster. It's only his second fight.
No, he was 3-3, but so
was Tapology wrong?
Yeah, because he was like 3-3 in Oklahoma before he moved here.
Oh, okay.
So he had some fights back before he moved here. But if you know what I want to see now, I want to see Cole Harris and Graham McMillan for that 185 strap.
Ooh, Cole looks like, if you look at Cole's Tapology, you're gonna think, man, that guy looks.
Graham's a big boy too.
Yeah, they're both big 185.
Dude, that's a great fight, Cole versus Graham.
Cole looks like one of those guys that he's just like one of those mean guys, but he's not.
Nicest guy in the world.
He's just the nicest guy in the world. Just so nice, so respectful. Like you were telling me what those guys, like him and Tanner at the weigh-ins, they're just chopping it up. And
there's T. Hinds.
It was that was a fun fight. And for the record, I was all in on the under in that fight. I thought for sure that was in
heaven. I was in the corner.
I'm like,
right as this fight was like, right, it was wrapping up. I looked over to him and I was like, I would have bet my house that this fight wasn't going 3 rounds.
Yeah.
Talk about how tough both of those guys are.
Those guys are bad.
Dude, Pattons, that's the fight.
Graham and Cole
versus Cole Harris
for the belt
for 185 title.
I like
that's
it.
A great fight.
You know who else looked really good? That Austin Mansky kid looked really good against Andrew Lund. Andrew Lund came in there. He was game. I don't know what kind of
spinning kick.
That neck twister. It looked like his head turned around.
He just had that guillotine, dude. But Andrew was trying to fight it.
Oh, he was.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think he fought it as long as he could. And you know, you see this all the time when somebody gets it, and they you get it. You just kind of tap.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody fought it hard and long when you kind of get like the panic tap, because dude, he fought it for a long time.
Well, his freaking head was behind his body. It looked like, because he was trying to fight it, but Mansky had a tight.
He had it tight. He had
super tight.
I give props to London for Andrew for defending it as long as he did it. And he did everything he could to try and get out of it before he tapped. And I just think too many fighters quit on themselves too soon. And I will give him props for not quitting on himself and keep trying to get out of it till he just couldn't anymore.
Yeah. We talked about Andres Toro. We talked about the Kyle Evans fight. Spencer Hansa, he's a big kid for 145. He's tall.
Yeah, he is tall. He's long.
Ben McNeil, Chris Anderson. I actually missed that one. Hansa
versus Zack Hamilton.
Ooh, at 145. I like that because they're both tall guys. I like that.
That'll be fun.
Pat, we're taking your job, brother. We're gonna start matchmaking.
That'd be good.
I didn't get to see the whole Ben McNeil and Chris Anderson fight.
From it sounded like Ben looked really sharp and did a lot of really good things.
Yeah, they both young up and coming guys at 125. So that's a fun little scrap too. We just talked about your fight. We talked about David Kim. Dude, David is probably, I'm not trying to sound biased, but he's probably one of my favorite local up and coming fighters. I love that kid.
Yeah.
Love his mindset, love his drive. Just he smiled. Like, did you see the weigh-in pictures? He's just got a big smile on his face.
Always.
And Noah did too. Noah's like, they're both just.
I like Noah.
Yeah.
He's a nice guy. We had a good conversation in the back too. I really like Noah.
AJ Garcia and
Christian
Rodriguez. Was that his last name? Did I say it right?
Aguilera.
Sorry, Chris, if I send that wrong. Anyways, so AJ's original opponent pulled out. So Christian stepped in on, was it a week notice? 10 days notice? Pretty close and pretty quick notice. Kid that has an extensive boxing history.
8-8 professional boxer with 7 knockouts. Used to spar with us a little bit, even trains out of Factum MMA now in Sandy. Is that right? Midvale, Sandy area?
Yeah, I think Factum's down there.
But I'll say this about Christian. Dude hits like a Mack truck.
Dude, scrappy. Like, I thought AJ was going to finish him when he got in the mount, and he was raining down some shots, but Christian was doing everything he could to fight off everything.
Oh, I mean, we knew it though too, because Christian was always tough at the gym. Like,
yeah,
he was always tough, and you knew he wasn't going to quit, and he wasn't. I mean, getting him to quit to punches probably wasn't going to happen. And eventually, he got the choke.
Yeah,
and that was going to be his downfall as a boxer. Just AJ just too. I mean, it's hard to catch up to that mat time, but give Christian 6-9 months and full MMA training, and
you better watch out. Yeah, you better watch out because he's got the drive, he's got the fight. But yeah, like I said, Dave's I love that kid, man. He's fun, and then obviously Jeremiah and Robbie Minor in the main event.
Good fights.
Man, I was pumped up all night.
And then we got a nice little treat from the Pattons posting that decked the halls December 17th card, and Cole Faust will be defending his 155 title
against a kid who asked to fight.
I believe the kid's from Logan, and he's 3-0, Mountain Forest.
Looks
tough kid, and he asked for it, and careful what you wish for, kid. And we'll have Cole in studio to deliver my body shot now, and then we can get him. Then we can maybe talk about his upcoming fight with him here in the podcast studio.
Heck yeah! Great night, Kevin, Pat, as always, freaking phenomenal. It's a good night.
We had a lot of fun.
I got to
I got some really good compliments too. Like that was probably one of the best SteelFist shows that they've been to, as far as like the pace of the night. Like if everything moved,
it did move really nice.
And most of the time when that stuff happens, it's out of their control. But whatever. But the whole night just moved really well. The flow was good. Like,
and the fights were all competitive. They were all very competitive. There was a few that went to the judges, and I'm like, I don't know. Like I mean, it depends on who's watching the fight. Yours.
Thanks. Twist. Knife. Twist.
You just don't listen to my commentary on your fight.
Oh, I'll listen to it.
I'm like, I'm taking Zack to the gym so we can finish this joke. Damn it. Yeah, I was screaming for you, dog.
I'll choke you right now.
No, don't do that. That's not nice.
Let's do it.
That's not nice.
Let's do it on air.
You just fought. We got to let you rest a little bit.
I do, yeah. And if anybody is curious, like I'm chilling out for a minute. I've literally been in fight camp for what? Over a year,
nonstop. Hillary probably needs a vacation.
Yeah, so we're gonna chill out from the fight camp type training. I mean, I'll still be in the gym, but we're gonna chill out for a minute, and then yeah.
And we had UFC fights this weekend too.
Good for Paulo Costa for not getting finished. It's very weird. Did you hear Dana say, not fighting at 185? And Polikos is like, no, I'm still 185. And Dana's like,
Dude,
no, you're not.
I cannot see Dana letting him fight at 185 again after that. I cannot. How gangster is Vettori?
Gangster. You know what? Somebody that I haven't really been a fan of.
Me neither.
But for him to just be like, I'll fight him at heavyweight, I don't care.
And he was clearly outsized in that. Like, Costa's big.
Costa's huge.
I'm
has
definitely
no business fighting 185.
Phillips, what's up? Yeah, I'm not a Costa fan. He's just
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm all out.
I'm all out.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
Never gonna win a title.
You know what? Line him up with Yuri.
That's what I'm saying.
Yuri and Costa next
Costa,
fight. Yeah.
You want a title fight?
Yeah. You're 205.
You beat Alexander Rakic and we'll talk about it.
Yeah. Beat Alexander Rakic. Beat Yuri.
I think Rakic kills him.
They both murder him. You freaking guy. We'll jam through these real quick. Jonathan Martinez and Lajeshvili. We were dead wrong on that one.
Yeah. Feely couldn't get his wrestling going. Levels.
Randa Marcos. Dude, she looked freaking impressive.
I picked Randa Marcos.
I did see that. Super impressive. No,
No, you went the other way.
I did.
Don't try and backskate now.
Jeff Molina, Daniel De Silva. That was a good fight.
Nailed that one. Glory MMA.
I got a little worried in the first round.
Yeah,
Jeff was scaring me.
But you always are. You're like, you are the, ladies and gentlemen, the worst overreactor in all of watching sports.
Usually when I do though, what happens? What happens when I do though? It always turns.
Because you're a big whiner.
So I'm like, just let me whine. Let me whine.
The Democratic Party. No, sorry. Shouldn't have said that.
Dude,
I apologize.
Phil kept trying. I got to tell this story. So Phil Henderson's sitting next in front of me, right at the tables. I'm sitting on the couch. Phil Henderson is sitting down. Love you, Phil. He's got Kent Bangeter, owner of Southern, who just passed away. He has his family there. I think it was his daughters. And he kept trying to get the Let's Go Brandon chant going in there. And there was somebody, and I think it was during AJ's fight, kept yelling, "Let's go, AJ," like he was saying, like Phil was cheering for the other guy. Like they thought that the Christian kid was named Brandon. Oh, because Phil kept saying, "Let's go, Brandon." And then I don't know who it was, but they were sitting over on the other side of me, and they're like, "Let's go, AJ." Like they were pumped up about AJ. They thought he was. Yeah. I don't think they got it.
That's okay.
Yeah.
That's okay. But I apologize. I should not have said that. I do not affiliate with either party. I'm a registered independent, just for the record. But
what's up, Fiji?
Yeah,
dude. Fiji was like
security,
top flight security, trying to kick me out.
Terrifying.
I know,
giant dictator over there. No, but no. Where were we going with that? Oh no, you're complaining. We could be like on the Jazz, right? And it's 4 minutes into the game, and the Jazz are down like 12 to 5. And he's like, "Bro, Jazz are blowing it.
Every time."
And it's like
every time.
Dude, it's like 4 minutes into the game. Just let's finish the first quarter before we determine it's over. At least.
You know what? Sometimes I just got to get it out, Zach. Sometimes I just got to vent.
You are the worst. I mean, you're that guy at the Super Bowl. Patriots suck. They're
horrible. I was. Yeah.
And then they just come back and beat the Falcons.
Falcons have never been the same since.
No, Matt Ryan's still looking for the confidence back.
Jai Herbert and Kama Worthy.
Nailed that.
Herbert wins that. Jamie Pickett, Staropoli. I actually bet on Pickett last second. I think we picked Staropoli on the podcast. I thought he was going to win, but as it got closer to the fight, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw $10 on Pickett. It looked big. To me, he's just a big guy. He's got all the tools. As soon as I think he just needs to learn how to put it all together. But anyways, Tabitha Reese.
The UFC is a tough place to learn how to put it all together, though.
Yeah. Tabitha Reese against Maria Oliveira. Reese was just all over her. We were wrong
on that.
I don't know if we whiffed. I think we just
saw the value in it.
Yeah, just value. I don't hate it. Mason Jones, dude. David Onama.
He lost.
Coming in on short notice.
He lost. Came to fight.
Yeah, he came to fight.
Dude, are we all in on him when he makes his debut at 145?
I'm all in.
He's a killer.
He is a killer. Gregory Rodriguez, cash that.
RoboCop. Dude, that fight was actually really good. There was a good back and forth in that fight.
It was really,
that was a really good fight.
They were going
if anybody missed that fight, go back and watch that fight because it was pretty awesome.
Oh, it was Dustin it was Dustin. Dustin was the one saying it. I love it. I'm like, somebody over there doesn't get the chant. I'm like, I don't think he gets what they're doing over there. Shout out to Phil, man. I love Phil.
Phil and Dustin Crawford, line it up. Phil's gonna have to lose a couple LBs.
Oh, Mark Miner on the main event. Let's see. He goes, Mark. Oh, Mark, the dude, it was a great fight. That
was great.
Robbie, he's a stud. I noticed he posted something, and maybe he wants to come on and shed some light. Mark, get him to come on the dang podcast with us.
Absolutely.
But it sounded like he had something wrong, like a lung, something wrong with his lung.
His lung, which I don't even know what that is. I've never heard of that. So, but that sounds serious, and it sounds like something that would affect your cardio. And his what he said was his pressure looked incredible, but it felt like when he couldn't push anymore, he just couldn't. And I know it wasn't from a lack of putting the work in. So that would add up to me of why his kind of lungs gave out on him.
Yeah, I thought after the first round, I'm like, man, he seems a little more gassed than normal. So that explains it.
I've never seen cardio be an issue with Robbie. So that is something where it would make sense that he had an injury that was affecting his cardio to be able to push that pace for that long. Got to give credit to Jeremiah though, because they both did a very good job executing their game plan.
We knew going in Jeremiah was going to try to stand. And for me, as I said earlier, Mark, for me, it was if Robbie could get him down and keep him, I thought he was going to win the fight. And Jeremiah did enough he didn't just give up when he got to the bottom. Like it looked like he'd been training. Well, we know he's been training. And he got out of those positions and he executed his game plan. So he took the first kick to the chest and got the air pocket. There it is. That explains it. Because he didn't seem right after that first round. Like he'd look. I mean, in the past, I hadn't seen him gas like that. So I was like, something's wrong. So
makes sense.
Whoa. Ike Villanueva, Nick Negro Moreno.
Man.
I mean, we took a shot on Ike.
I kind of felt like he took some illegal shots behind the head.
I think the fight was already over.
Yeah,
I think it was already over.
You're probably right. But we had Ike.
Dwight Grant and Francisco Trinaldo. I don't know about that. I didn't like that decision. I thought Grant won that fight.
So did I.
I didn't agree with that.
Our boy got hosed.
Alex Caceres and Wu Choi.
Caceres shocked me.
Hey, if I remember right, I said a little caution on Caceres. 4-fight win streak. I'm kicking myself for not taking that.
Yeah, you punk.
Jessica Rose Clark dominated. She looked
dominated. Just like I said she would. Remember?
Yep.
Cruise to a decision.
Dude, I rewatched that Ricky Glenn and Grant Dawson the end. I thought Dawson was out with that choke.
He was.
Because his head hit the ground.
He for sure
he was out.
He was out.
He snapped back to it, but
he was out.
Props to Ricky Glenn for he pretty much got it's pretty much a little different than your fight, but Grant Dawson wins the first 2 rounds. Ricky Glenn ends up coming back and dominating that 3rd round like he did and almost getting the finish. In my opinion, should have gotten the finish.
He was asleep.
Yeah.
For sure
he was asleep. And then Marvin Vittori Costa. I didn't even want to talk about Costa. Like it just drives me crazy. You know how I am about those guys that anything that has to do with weight stuff like that.
Yeah.
And to come in like that. And I did let it affect my emotions with my betting because I thought for sure he wasn't going to last the whole fight. And I think I should have thought about that a little more because look, he is tough. He can take a shot. He's tough. He always looks like he gasses, but he doesn't gas.
Right.
So like I said, I don't want to give Costa any credit. I'm going to give all the credit to Vittori for stepping up and taking that fight to a guy
and good for him. He got 30% of his purse. Not a good thing to get for Paulo Costa, who doesn't like fighter pay. Hey, here's a good point. Here's a good first step. If you don't feel like you can make enough, show up and make weight so you don't have to give up 30% of your purse to fight somebody 2 whole weight classes above what you're supposed to.
Yeah. I mean, Marvin's a gangster. I don't think Dana's going to do Costa any favors, but I hope that he sticks to what he says and says, you're not fighting at middleweight again. You can't reward a guy that does that 2 days before the fight. Was it 2 days before the fight that he switched weight classes?
Showed up on Wednesday at 200.
Come on.
Showed up on Wednesday at 218 pounds.
He didn't even try.
He cut 33 pounds in 72 hours.
I don't know how you can and be healthy.
I think so.
Yeah. I don't know how you can do it and be healthy.
Jeremiah is a stud. They're both studs.
Dude, you know what's funny about, I know we keep going back and forth to these fights. All those Hawaiians all fight the same from Extreme Couture. They're all stand-up guys. They all fight like Max Holloway. They all have like great stand-up.
I'm the best boxer in the UFC, baby.
Dude, and there's quite the Hawaiian crew down there.
Oh yeah, they all train together.
They all train together. We saw
there.
Yeah.
They're like, what is this? Like,
it's like Hawaiian hour. Island. Yeah. Crazy.
That's what Lecco told us that it's like we're like the 6th island thing.
You know, I was talking to a couple guys prior to the fight, and they were like, they didn't think Jeremiah looked as good against Thomas. They're like, well, he didn't look that good. And I had to tell them, I'm like, look, he hadn't fought in 2 years before he took that fight, and he was an amateur. So he took his first pro fight after a 2-year layoff. I'm like, if you're going off of that fight thinking that that's what you're going to get, you're totally wrong. And he was impressive. Like they both were. I mean,
here's the thing that people have to understand when you're fighting and stuff. Me and Ramsey had a really interesting conversation in the back, and it wasn't about any one person, but he said, we talked about, COVID, sick of it.
Yeah.
We're getting tired of it. The gyms are getting tired of it. And, we all want to be safe and stuff, but, people have to make a living too. And, gyms were suffering for a long time. And he said, one of the positives was, like, one of the things that hurt is you lost a lot of kids, like from the kids program.
Yeah.
But one of the positives was with your fight team stuff is you figured out who was real serious about their fight career.
Yep.
And I actually, the more I thought about that, I thought, man, that was really insightful, because you look at all the fighters that are fighting now after COVID, they look better than ever and even more sharp. And because a lot of us were just in the gym, just adding tools to the belt and sharpening our tools for a year without fighting. And
how were you training when it was a lockdown, Zach?
We weren't. We were at the Maury Academy. If anybody was asking.
Oh man.
No, but we learned who our guys at the gym were.
Yeah.
That were willing to, that were taking it, who were serious, right? And I'm not saying that the people that weren't, and if they were concerned, that's their right, and I respect their right. But you really learned, and Ben McNeil from his gym had a great performance, but these amateurs aren't just amateurs anymore that you could just walk in and tell, hey, Patton's like, hey, I want to fight. I train out of my garage, or I don't train, and I want to fight somebody from one of these gyms. You will get killed.
Yeah.
If you are not training with coaches and teammates, if you're an independent guy now, if you're a guy from a gym, like there's like, it's when they say there's levels to this, the levels have gotten bigger between them. So now you're seeing these early pros like Jeremiah and Robbie, who are just barely into their pro careers. These guys would kill guys that were just early in their pro careers 5-10 years ago.
Yeah. The level of coaching.
Is just
Speaking of coaching, there's something that Sheree and I caught, and it was during the Cole Harris fight, watching Court McGee. You could see how passionate he was, and showing him like what he wanted Cole to do. It's just cool watching that, And I'm not saying none of the other coaches were doing that either, but he was right in my vision, and just seeing his coaching and watching that, fighter. It's like that's pretty freaking cool.
To have a UFC fighter invested in his fighters that way, that is pretty cool.
That's pretty damn cool for an amateur fighter to have Court McGee and Dana Risball in your freaking corner. Like, yeah. Jeremy Horn's in your corner. Yeah, fun.
Oh, and if anybody's wondering, I'm rocking glasses for a while.
Rocking the glasses.
I lost my last contact, and I haven't had an eye appointment in forever, so I have to go see an eye doctor to get a new prescription for contacts, and so I'm in glasses for a minute.
Nice.
Yeah.
Friday
night,
fierce fighting, and we're commentating.
We're commentating together.
This is gonna be so fun.
Yeah, I mean, back-to-back cards, and again, cannot highlight and stress this enough. How lucky Utah is to have two promotions that will be putting on shows back-to-back weekends in Salt Lake City, Utah, that are just awesome.
Is there? I don't think you can make the case that there's any other state, and maybe there is, but that has two legit promotions like that going back to back. Like, I watch a lot on my Amazon Fire Stick. I watch a lot of the independent stuff from across the country, and they're garbage. Like, I'm not okay. I shouldn't use the word garbage.
SteelFist, I won't call any promotions out by name, but for people like an amateur card or amateur show, whatever, it is produced so much better than some of those that you would. I wish I could say some names, and I'm not going to, but like there are some big shows that are even on Fight Pass. When I watch it, I'm like, SteelFist puts on a better show than
way better.
Way better. Has a better, like the production and everything. And dude,
nobody
SteelFist is they for an amateur show. They do make the fighters feel like they're in a big time show.
Yeah.
They got the sparklers going when we're walking out. It's freaking cool.
It's great. I don't know if Dane and Court like the sparklers, but every time they walked out, they're like, oh man. Mark. Oh, you look sexy in your glasses, your wife says.
I know. No.
So
Court's a cool story.
Yeah.
We will get him in studio for a podcast one of these days.
Yeah. Hopefully soon. Until Friday, we'll be back Friday. We'll do a quick breakdown, probably early Friday, because we're going to have to be at the Maverick Center early.
Yeah. Super excited.
And we're going to dress up.
Yeah, we're going to be dressed up. We're going to look like freaking adults and professionals for once in our life. It's pretty weird.
I can't wear shorts in my hat. Damn it. Oh, well.
Goofball.
All right.
But until then, everybody go. You can still get tickets. Go find your fighters like Kent Mafaleo, Cole Schaefer.
Mio Strong.
Mio Strong has a good, that's a good one. The money will go to a good cause. Mitch Ramirez, Sulia.
Steve
Sharp. I mean, we have so many friends.
Yeah.
We have so many friends fighting on this. It's
Lucas
Montoya.
And if you can't be there, order the pay-per-view.
And watch me and Jason, because we should ask if we can get a StreamYard. So of our just reaction, we just record and then we'll just.
Why couldn't we?
We'll just do.
Why couldn't I just hook up my laptop and we just put it right in front of us? And we'll do
the Joe Rogan and John Anik.
Yeah.
Of the night. We'll put that clip together.
Yeah.
On the YouTube channel.
That would be pretty bad. That would be pretty fun.
That'd be fun.
Do people get to see us? Did people see? No. Dang it.
But they will if we do that.
We'll work on that. All right. We'll see you guys Friday. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Appreciate all the support. Love everybody. You guys are freaking awesome.
See you
out.
Friday night.
Do damage, baby. Do